people are embracing continuous professional learning more and more, especially via digital means. Because of its flexibility, this type of learning is an opportunity to develop talent and better understand and surmount today's challenges and the ones of the future. It is also one of the answers to the skills shortfalls companies are facing. In this episode, Carla and I are joined by Etienne Hirsch, head of PwC's Academy, to discuss learning experiences in the digital era, how they are evolving, and the role that technological developments are playing in it. As a side note, this is my last episode with TechTalk. I thank Paramita Chakraborty, who more than 3 years ago convinced me to join the show. I thank Carla, who joined me in 2020, and since then, we have done our best to bring it to you, even in the obscure times of heavy confinement. I thank Ralph for his technical tips, his smart suggestions, and his honest opinions. And I thank Peter and Antoine for the last year helping us make TechTalk a reality. But the show must go on. Thanks for keeping the boat afloat, Carla. Until next time, or somewhere in a cafe. Welcome to a new episode of Tech Talk, which is a very special episode for me, and you will know why, or maybe you already know.
Yes.
This is... Oh, Carla,
sorry. No,
She's eager to talk, I know.
Yes, I am, because I'm very sad today.
No, but also because it's your day.
Yes.
It's International Women's Day.
Yes, we are recording this episode on International Women's Day.
Exactly. So this is called the one on learning experiences in the digital era. And if I am not wrong, is episode 15.
That's
Did I
right.
say that before, I think? Yes. The season is still the same. And
Yes.
Carla, why are you sad? Why are you sad?
Because this is your last episode.
This is my last episode. It's true. But that's why we have a very special guest.
That's true.
Because I chose the special guest today to say goodbye. And he is Etienne Hirsch. Is it correctly pronounced, Etienne?
Absolutely. I'm very honored.
And Etienne is the head of PwC's Academy, which is a branch of PwC Luxembourg dedicated to give or deliver training. Welcome once again.
Welcome,
Thank you very
Etienne.
much. Very nice to be here.
Etienne Hirsch is, where is that name from? It's from Alsace?
Yes,
Oh.
it is from Alsace.
It's from Alsace.
Indeed.
But it's French.
Absolutely.
Oh. Okay.
That was clear.
Yes. Now that we are living times of war, I don't want to revive any conflict of those times. What are you feeling, by the way, about this?
You asked me that in the previous episode.
Yes, but I think things have changed so quickly. What do you feel now, you, Etienne, Carla?
I feel the same apprehension.
Yes, fear.
Yes,
Yes.
I think we all do.
Yes, for what may happen. Because that could end up affecting us all, not only Europe.
It is affecting us all.
Yeah, but
in
I mean,
fact. Not in direct way yet,
in a more direct way.
but still.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's go there. I give you the honor, Carla. You
Thank
have every
you.
single time have the honor to ask the first question.
Yes. So, Etienne, we will start with an easy question today. We hope it's easy, but it's fundamental. So, we want to know, who are you?
Oh, and you call this an easy question?
Exactly.
It's never easy.
No.
Okay. Well, in a nutshell, to start with, I'm French. I'm 51, in Luxembourg for over 20 years now,
Oh, wow.
with 20 years experience in management consulting, dealing with many industries across regions, across the world even, yes, in various fields, but mostly related to transformation project, change management, and dealing mostly in the finance industry, banking, asset management, but also vocational training bodies in the past.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
And to complete this small portrait, I've always considered, and we do at PwC, that training is part of our DNA. Basically, as consultants, we are used to analyze, convey knowledge, and I've always been involved in training. I have even been a teacher. In risk management and
Really?
other very nice topics such as money laundering and things like that. So quite logically, and I would say naturally, my career evolved toward vocational training. And I took over the banking and finance division of the House of Training before my former colleagues from PVC proposed me to bring the academy to a next level of its development.
Yeah.
And this was now almost 3 years ago.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And
I
here we
remember the
are.
press release we prepared announcing the moment when you were joining us. But it's true what you said. Not PwC in general, because we are consultants. We are, in a way or the other, doing knowledge transference. So by means of training directly, or by means of every single work day when we, Yeah, that's very true.
And I think it's making a lot of sense for the academy because it's closely related to the mission statement that we have, because the purpose of the academy is to craft and deliver premium learning journeys using the knowledge of our experts, the PwC experts. So basically, we are operating as per this mission statement.
By the way, internally, we call it, like in a familiar way, the academy. We never say PwC's academy. We call it the academy.
That's true.
It's true.
Yes.
So for the ones out there, when Etienne or Carlo refer to academy, it means PwC's academy. So I go with the second. It's okay, Carla?
Of course.
So we have, lately we read, listen, everyone talking about upskilling, reskilling, and I hope not only killing. They are like more and more needed. But who should take the lead on this? Once I read an article on how the upskilling thing changes depending on the culture. And in Europe, we tend to be very paternalistic, is the word. We wait the government to help us.
Okay. You wait for the push from...
Exactly. However, in Japan, I read they do it themselves. And in America, they know the government doesn't pay anything.
Do you mean employees or
yes,
organizations?
it should come from the employee. It should come from the company. That's what the question is more about.
Okay. No, it's a very interesting matter because actually things are moving very fast. As you know, upskilling and reskilling have been considered by PwC as a key focus area for a long while now, for many years, and especially in Luxembourg, because upskilling and bringing new competencies on board has always been a kind of a structural challenge, especially in the financial industry. And what has been happening over the 2 to 3 last years has been changing a bit the dynamic. I think that it's a bit obsolete to consider the initiative of the employer against the one of the employee, because digital transformation and the new ways of working induced by the COVID pandemic have been making things move dramatically. And basically, the initiative is more and more in the hand of the employee. And we'll speak probably about that because technology is a huge driver to make the ways of learning evolve. But when it comes to upskilling, and we see it currently with what is called, unfortunately, the Great Resignation, basically people are taking their destiny in their own hands, and it includes learning. But at the same time, the employer has an increased opportunity to anticipate and tackle the needs of not only the employee in general, but specifically each person within the company. So basically, the dichotomy is not the employer versus the employee anymore, and we see an increasing drive of both to make sure that all the learning opportunities are sized. And when we speak about upskilling, we mustn't forget also reskilling. And in the past, it was mainly driven by the employer. But today, thanks to the technology, the employee has also the ability to interact with the employer to co-design the new position.
You mentioned the famous Great Resignation. Have you noticed in the descriptions, to the courses you give, people willing to do the training because they are changing? Because they want to change, cover any field?
What we noticed for sure is an increased learning appetite. And it's becoming more and more diversified. Okay. People are eager to learn new things, new competencies outside their areas of comfort. And this is why also it's a great opportunity, because it implies that learning is becoming more and more interactive with people increasingly curious.
That's interesting.
So in this sense, what we call the great resignation is, of course, a turmoil and a disruption in the life of any company. And this is something which is becoming global across sectors, geographies, whatever. But at the same time, it is a testimony of the fact that the pandemic has been shaking something which is deep in human nature, which is curiosity. And I think that we should consider this very positively, because learning is never as fun as when it's new. So
That's very
true.
nice quote.
And I think it makes total sense, because we are in a very interconnected world. So that doesn't make sense for people to stick to their
areas of comfort.
Exactly, and their field. They have to expand, and I think that's good.
Yes. For instance, Carla will become an astronaut.
No, but I've worked in different sectors.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've learned a lot, and it's good.
I could be an astronaut. Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
It's never too late.
But if the world...
But you want to be an interior designer.
An interior designer, an architect. I wanted to be a geologist. I mean, you name it.
But to be serious, we all have the means to discover more easily than in the past new fields. It's very easy. The digital revolution has been granting far more easy access to information.
Yes.
And information is knowledge. And knowledge is the root of learning. So basically, you have a very virtuous moment of curiosity, which is spanning across all the industries and all the roles.
And also a great offer as well. You can easily find courses on literally everything nowadays. Everything.
Yeah, I remember those days when I was asking myself, where do I want to go today? And I was opening a search engine. Because you can go everywhere, you can learn everything. You can,
Yes,
it's incredible. Well, we are Carla,
going off topic.
Yes.
Well, not going off topic, but let's go to the next question. Training types can be classified as receptive, directive, guided discovery, and exploratory. This clearly is Luis's question. I will miss those. Are there any of them more applicable to adult education?
Okay. So, Luis, you are referring here to the four, what is called the four instructional architectures. And people often refer to them speaking of e-learning, but it's not only e-learning. So basically, broadly speaking, each of these architecture is following a specific purpose. So the answer is we are all using different architecture, including these ones. Most of the time, the courses are designed using one or two dominant.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it comes to the pedagogic objective and the nature of the audience. And this is clearly our motto at the Academy. We consider the pedagogic objective and the audience first. Then we use eventually this type of architecture. For instance, you can use directive architecture in order to summarize a wide array of information into more understandable chunks of information and deliver something which is more fluid in a sequence. You can use guided discovery in order to support case studies. And we do it in the case of our flagship anti-money laundering e-learning, AML Codename Black. But at the end of the day, it comes to serving a purpose.
I love that answer. I would love to explore this a little bit more and learn this. It's very nice.
It is.
How you combine...
I had no idea. So thank you for your question, Luis.
I see a sort of irony today, but it's okay.
No. Yeah, I do resent a bit that you're leaving us, of course.
Okay.
So, forgive me.
Okay, no, it's fine. So I will jump to the fourth. Would you recommend any skills update frequency to professionals? What do you think? Do they, upskill themselves or reskill every year? Or that's a silly question in the end.
Constantly, I would say.
Constantly.
Yes, Carla, you're absolutely right. I mean, in today's world, the answer, the evidence is that learning has become a continuous process. And this is why also we see some developments around, certification, micro certifications. Learning never stops, basically, and everybody is feeling naturally the interest and sometimes a compelling need to stay up to date. So in the case of Luxembourg, if you look at the financial industry, which is heavily regulated, it's part of the professional obligations to remain up to date, and you have some calendar booked trainings which are compulsory, but beyond that, it's becoming a necessity in order to stay up to date and to continue to evolve and to add value and to innovate.
Yes, absolutely. But for instance, in fields like ours, digital, it's insane. The changes happen every week sometimes.
Yes.
Social networks are insane. They launch features every week. And we are not talking about only one network.
Yes, exactly. It's hard to keep up with.
It's very hard to keep up.
I have to say that sometimes it's overwhelming, and I think this connects to the next question. Do you think that there is a training shock because the demanding market increasingly asks professionals for training and certification? How do you feel about that?
Well, speaking of vocational training, I won't speak about academics, but speaking of vocational training, for me, it's rather a logical evolution. In a world where, access to information is more easy and skills and competencies are becoming something which is highly demanded, with trust on top of this as a cardinal value. And we know this at PwC because basically trust is at the core of our DNA. So it's normal for us to see this trend towards more, let's say, certification types of learning. And digital is bringing along a trend towards micro-credentials, which are certifying the outcome of a short duration learning period.
Okay.
And this is very interesting because this is the result of not only the long-lasting digital evolution, but the COVID pandemic has been accelerating this with hybrid ways of learnings and remote working. Basically, people are, as we said before, learning more and more easily on a continuous manner. And for them, especially if they want to upskill or reskill, they are eager to get a certification in order to testimony on the fact that they have been completing and achieving a new set of competencies. And so this is something which is making a lot of sense. And this is also the demonstration that learners are seeking something which is more flexible, more easy to access in terms of information. So we need to take this into consideration when we design the learning contents and make sure that it is centered on their own interest, on the learner's interest, in order to make sure that these micro-learnings are making sense, easily accessible with the delivery of a certificate at the end.
But this it's called micro-learning or micro-certification? You said micro-learning.
Micro-credentials.
Micro-credentials, sorry. So it means they last certain period of time and then you need to renew them?
Well, it depends. It depends. But most of the time, you have if you divide a learning curriculum in different sets of learning sessions, training sessions, you can tie each session to a micro credential, attesting the fact that you have been following the course and that you have been completing an assessment in some cases, whatever.
It reminds me a non-competitor for the academy, Coursera. Coursera has, now I know what you mean. Okay, a good example is you get like modules. So you get the certification for this.
Yes.
And you put them together, they kind of create a certificate. Okay.
It's true that this is something which is coming visible through the digital platforms.
Yes.
And it's true that the Academy is not a digital platform. We are not positioning in this field. It's not our purpose. But it is not only applicable to digital courses. It can be also applicable to a set of modules, because at the end of the day, what is important is for the learner to report on the fact that he has been effectively following a course, acquiring a new competency.
And I will be the geeky now, but the NFTs, the non-fundable tokens. So maybe certification in the future, you can certify, how can I say it? Yes, certify that you have done certain course, because through the blockchain, it could be. Make sense what I say?
Possibly.
Yes, the blockchain is a smart contract.
Blockchain is an underlying technology.
Yes,
so
exactly.
If I may, I have a comment. No, I don't know. Maybe I didn't understand this question that I ask when we talk about training shock. But I was thinking that with so much offer, it is also difficult for employees and employers to make a decision. What is the right choice for me? For instance, when I wanted to upskill, let's say, there were so many certifications in my field, and it's like, which one is the right one?
Exactly.
It's a question.
You're absolutely right, and this is where the added value of an advisor is coming into play, in order to make sure that your purpose is clearly defined, because you are absolutely right. You can find many potential solutions, and one size is not fitting everybody's. So it's a question of goal, it's a question of profile, it's a question of preference in terms of formats, budget also, of course. But at the end of the day, choosing a learning solution mustn't be or shouldn't be taken for granted. This is something which is requiring a careful assessment. And this is why we position as an advisor, definitely.
Okay. So the next comment is yours.
Jump to the next, and it has to do with analog training.
What is analog training, Luis?
Analog training is a training that is not digital. Well, I call it analog.
Okay,
So
you mean
physical.
with no computer involved?
Not having any digital technology as a means to convey the idea, but you are present to convey the
traditional
training.
Okay.
Well, I can analog
On-site.
because it sounds fancy.
Yes.
But actually, the question literally says, will on-site training slowly be shaded? Wow, that's poetic.
It is.
Or constrained to certain formats such as workshops or practical training?
Again, it's a question of purpose. In my view, there is frankly no point in opposing traditional to new formats. At the end of the day, it comes to serving a pedagogic purpose and making sure that the value of the training is at the most, given the audience nature and the expectations. What we want to deliver, basically, it's a premium experience. It goes beyond content. And at the same time, Luis, you're right also, because hybrid formats are developing. So why not considering the added value of technology by blending traditional and digital, as soon as it is consistent with the pedagogic goal? For instance, some audiences are more prone to digital, others no. Depends on what you want to achieve, and basically what is the business purpose also, which is pursued through the learning exercise.
Absolutely.
I have a question out of the script.
Out of the blue.
And how do you adapt this on a case by case, on a client scenario basis, or on the kind of training itself? I don't know if my question was very clear.
Yes. So basically, if I'm right, you're speaking about two dimensions. Do you customize the content?
Yes.
Or do you adapt to the reality of a given company compared to another? And
Exactly.
the answer is yes in both cases.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the added value will be optimized when the relevance of the course will be optimized also. So it is directly linked to the reality of the business behind. So if I can take an example, if you take, regulatory compliance, which is something which is lying at the heart of basically the expertise that we have. It is making a lot of sense to embed the case studies and the reality of the client situation in the delivery of the course in order to make sure that the impact of the messages and the application case will be as crystal clear as possible for the audience. And this is how you customize the content given the reality of the business.
Thank you.
No, but interesting. It is a very interesting question.
Thank you, Luis.
Now, there is a limit. No, makes no sense, my question. I was just wondering how far can you go when customizing? I think it depends on the budget of the company.
As well.
No, but the customization effort is stemming from the purpose. So basically, it depends on the context. We are increasingly moving toward formats where you have, role plays, case studies, and things which are based on experience.
Exactly.
And in this case, you focus a lot on the reality of the business situation, which is supposed to be addressed through the learning, and the content is coming as a tool. So it means that the pedagogic engineering is prevailing on the content, and the customization can go very far. What was supposed to be a technical training at the beginning becomes something which is more management and leadership training at the end, because the evolution of the audience throughout the different sessions has made it relevant.
Yeah. So it's very much experience-based. That's very, very nice. Okay. I don't know if it's my question or yours, Carla.
Actually, it's mine.
It's yours.
So
Go ahead.
I'll take it. So PwC's Academy likely can see trends in people's interest when demanding training. Could you shed some light on this, especially in Luxembourg? What is the demand here?
Broadly speaking, we are very happy to see that the appetite for learning is continue to increase and spanning basically all the value chains. So I can be precise given our positioning and our mission statement. So basically in what we do, we see a very, very strong trend to continue the build-up on demand regarding regulatory compliance, risk management, governance, accounting, which are basically the heart of the technical expertise of PwC, and at the same time, an increasing need for learning solutions, blending technical and soft skills around management and leadership. So we are delivering increasingly blended solutions on both technical and soft skill side with the help of our consulting colleagues. And those are very, very powerful.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you may have the most talented and skillful professionals, but if they don't know how to work together or they don't understand, I don't know. No.
Leadership skills,
well,
yes.
That's not, but the verb is not understanding, but I don't know what verbs to use for leadership because I am not a very hierarchical person, but, or they cannot take the lead.
Well, I think even if you're not a manager, you still need leadership skills.
Oh, yes.
Or negotiation skills.
I was mixing the hierarchy with leadership. Forget what I said. It's my last one.
No. But you see, we're coming back also to the nature of the audience.
Yes.
I mean, the needs of the audience is deriving according to the roles, the responsibilities, and the functions. And what we'll see in terms of trend is that our own audiences are increasingly made of specialists and senior executives. And specialists and line management and senior executive have increasing needs to embed both technical and soft skills at the same time. So most of the time we happen to design courses which are addressed given a business situation, and the business situation is addressing the two components, technical and soft.
Okay.
Now, if Etienne was a witcher, and you had a crystal ball, why? Yeah, like the Witcher, like the series. Okay. So what
Can you picture this?
I haven't. Yeah.
you haven't watched it?
No, I haven't.
Wow. Well, it's good. It's good. I would say it's good.
I believe you, but I don't think I'll watch it.
Okay. Okay.
But I know, so I can picture it.
Okay,
So I
but
can...
what the future of learning would look like?
Bright.
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 That was
Bright,
one
bright.
very powerful
Like
word.
the weather outside.
No. It is a given. The demand is the appetite for learning is very, very high because of this curiosity thing, and I think this is a very, very good news. So my conviction is the future of learning is bright. It's brighter today than yesterday, and it will be brighter tomorrow for sure. It means that we need to be also ambitious in the way we evolve in terms of offering to be closer to our clients and there blending the traditional formats with the new ones and making sure that we innovate with the clients to find new solutions to have the maximum impact. This is something which is very enthusiasming, if I can say, because it's an open-ended universe. And we see basically this appetite for learning increasing and increasing. That's not only in Luxembourg, but I think this is a global phenomenon.
I think so too. And sometimes don't you feel that you will be behind if you don't continue learning? It's like
that's also what training shock.
Yeah,
when it comes
also,
exactly, is that it's also a bit of fear, I think, that you are left behind.
However, there is something that is never trained, that it's experience.
That's true.
So it's good to be trained, but also the experience you gain over the years. And here we have a seasoned professional. There's something that cannot be taught. It's something that you haven't.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Maybe that's the advantage with the new guys or girls that come with tons of knowledge and they are skillful in every single data analytics tool. But the years are good teachers.
That's true. So I leave you the last question, Liz, because this is your last question.
Yes, it's one of my favorite because it's about robots. And as I have said several times in the show, I am a crazy fan of the Transformers and everything that looks like robots. Honestly, I would love to see a robot and maybe fall in love with one. That would be awesome. But anyway, the question is the Academy considering... Well, we don't have still robot teachers, but in the future, it might be the Academy having a teacher like that is a robot. Do you think the future of learning also going into this blended thing that one part is delivered by a person and the other is delivered by a robot, if one day that comes?
Well... No, something which is for sure is that basically, those machine learning and big data things are going to be increasingly used in order to tailor the experience of the learner, maybe to help you, Carla, to choose in the wide universe of learning solutions.
Yes.
And this is something which is increasingly called, adaptive learning. So basically, the capability to adapt the content that you get according to your skills and your profile. Currently, we are focusing on macro adaptive learning, which is basically the ability to customize the learning pathway. So you have a set of training modules, let's say, and basically the sequence and your ability to move from a given module to another is also related to your existing skills, your profile, and also assessments, gap assessments. And this is something that we are implementing in some of our e-learning solutions. Of course, there is also micro-adaptive learning where you customize the individual learner's experience. And this is something which is far more technical, requiring a lot of data processing capabilities. So this is for the future. But at the end of the day, again, technology is not an end in itself. In whatever solution, at the end, you will have a pedagogic message, pedagogic content, and those will be designed by subject matter experts. And we are strong believers in the added value of having live discussions with human being subject matter experts who are able to convey knowledge, but also to interact with the audience, because those interactions are making the experience memorable.
Yes.
And this is what matters the most.
Yes, technology is only a means.
I agree.
You agree?
Or I want to agree.
You want to agree. Okay. You want to agree. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I want it to be that way and to stay that way, honestly.
Okay. Okay, Carla. With your very serious statement,
Yes.
we have to close the show.
Yes.
I don't know if is there anything you want to add, Carla, Etienne, on this field?
Not.
No?
From
What
my
is your
side.
next training, your next upskilling adventure, Carla?
I don't know.
No?
Maybe project management.
We don't have an astronaut course yet.
No.
But, I will let you know whenever we have one.
Thank you, Etienne.
Okay. Well, it can be dancing, it can be ballet, it can be...
Maybe.
Yeah. But that's I have one more question, in fact. Upskilling is linked necessarily to your field? You mean to your domain of expertise? Yes, I think.
Upskilling it's about evolving your set of competencies.
Okay.
But yes, it is related to your primary
Kind
field.
of,
But
yes.
the way it goes, you can expand
Yeah.
and broaden the scope.
Okay.
To evolve. The purpose of upskilling is to make sure that the people are developing themselves in terms of career path.
Okay, because that just occurred to me, if you want to do belly dancing, I don't know, or something like that, it's not connected.
No.
Okay. No,
It's
I'm
not.
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Also, becoming an astronaut would be a bit difficult and out of my
Who
field.
knows? Because maybe they need some digital marketing out there.
Maybe to do the social media.
So thanks a lot, Etienne. It was very, very, very nice to have you here.
It was a pleasure. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very
And
much.
thank you for accepting to be my last episode. And I think it has been a wonderful journey for me, for everyone.
Yes.
And until the next one, this is Tech Talk.
Technology made simple.
And now you have to say it entirely because it will be yours. So this is Tech Talk.
Well, I will have
Yes,
someone.
no, we cannot announce the person yet.
Yes.
He will announce
so
himself.
I guess. And that's the way we do here at TechTalk. So this is Tech Talk, technology made simple over a cup of coffee.
Or wine, but I think you look like you like wine.
Yes.
Am I right?
Are you right?
Oh no, Alsace is more beer.
Really? I thought it would be wine.
White
Maybe
wine,
I'm completely
maybe?
wrong.
Riesling, white wine.
I love wine, yes.
Yeah, you see, he looked like. I know. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Etienne.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that's all for today and the end of my trip too. This is Tech Talk, technology made simple over a cup of coffee. Thank you for listening.